Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my neighbors, and welcome to the Afia Sports, Home of Sports, actually, on Afia TV. The frequencies still remain the same. They've not changed. On this wonderful October the 4th day, Saturday, of course, by this time, Saturday, October the 4th, day of our Lord 2025. And, of course, you're reaching us on Channel 254 DSTV, Channel 748 Free TV, and Channel 17 Go TV. Welcome, guys, to the show. And this, like I said, is the Afia Home of Sports. I'm your man, CC Emetebe, also known as CC the Rabbi. And I'm not doing this alone on this wonderful day, indeed. We have the divinator. He's back. I don't know where he went to, but he's back. Divine Onwuka, good to see you guys.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to be here. I've missed you guys so much, so thank you.
Have you missed us as much as we missed you?
I don't know. It depends on you guys. You haven't told me how much you guys missed me.
Okay, for those who are suspecting, keep your suspicion to yourself. All the same, it's great to be here on this wonderful day. This is the first day. This is actually the first Afia Sports show that we're having this week. Is it? Yeah, it's the first of this month. So far, this is the fourth.
This is the fourth.
Today is the fourth. So it's great to be here in October. And this is the last quarter of the year. And, you know, the good book says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And speaking of beginnings, we have to go to the headlines, the Metro, and is a reminder, this is a reminder, we're running a simulcast, a simultaneous broadcast, which means you can listen to us right now if you tune in on Afia Radio, 99.3 Afia Radio. You listen to us, you hear us, and we're talking about that. That means you can actually make your calls, you can call in and then communicate with us, air your views, share your mind, and let's know, be part of the conversation. Essentially, that's what we're here for. That's why we are Afia TV. And we're going to the headlines. Starting, of course, with the NPFL. Charity always begins at home. In the Nigerian Premier Football League, we saw one of the games. Now, out of the disappointment of crashing out of the CAF Confederation Cup, for preliminary round, first preliminary round, Abia Warriors, who lost to Mali, that's to Djibouti of Mali, they crashed out. So they had to bounce back. And what they did is that they got a stunning win over Remo Stars, the defending champions, Remo Stars, 2-0. That was match day 6. The rescheduled match day 6 game. They beat them. They welcomed the defending champions and beat them by 2-1. 2-0, I beg your pardon, because the 2-1 game was the one that involved Kwara United beating Plateau United, the battle of the United, but they were disunited in the scoreline there. Then coming to the NPFL, still on Kwara United's head coach, Tunde Sanni, was given an ultimatum, a 3-match ultimatum, to get things right after the shocking ouster in the CAF Confederation Cup preliminary round, first preliminary round. He faced the Ghanaian side, Ashanti Kotoko, after losing 4-3 away from home in Ghana. They welcomed them to Nigeria only to lose 1-0. So losing 5-3 on aggregate, which put the gaffer himself, Tunde Sanni, under tremendous pressure. So he was given an ultimatum to win the next 3 games, and he has started well by getting that important win over Plateau United by beating them 2-1. So you're looking at the next games they're going to play. The next one will be against Abia Warriors. So these games are 6 pointers. So Tunde Sanni is a man with a target on his back, and he needs to get the results to show that he's still good enough for the job. But we'll give more information about that as time comes. As we go to the last bit of headline news in the English Premier League, you just saw clips there before we came in, and you saw what happened in Europe this past week. And the last game that was shown, the last highlight that was shown there, was the game that happened in the Vitality Stadium in Bournemouth, the south coast of England, yesterday, where Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth, hosted Fulham FC. Fulham that had 3 Nigerians on the match roster. Of course, Alex Iwobi, then Calvin Bassey, the centre-back, left-back, and then, of course, Samuel Chukwueze, who gave the assist for that goal that was scored by Ryan Sessegnon. But it was not to be, because thanks to a wonderful brace from the man himself, the Ghanaian Antoine Semenyo, and then, of course, Justin Kluivert, who was one of the Kluivert brothers, the 3 Kluivert brothers that scored over this past weekend. Justin Kluivert, just emulating his father, scored. His legendary father, Patrick Kluivert, scored. So you can see that 3 Kluivert brothers were on the score sheet. You had the Barcelona under-19 and PSG under-17, under-19 games played. So Shane Kluivert scored in that for Barcelona under-19. And then you also had Ruben Kluivert, who scored for Lyon just this past week, Olympic Lyon, and then, of course, Patrick Kluivert's other son there, Justin Kluivert, in the English Premier League, he scored. So it was a good night for the Kluivert family because they were all remembering their scoring boots. But we are not Kluiverts right now. Our eyes are on the Nigerian contingent because the reason we're looking at that was because of the fact that we want our players fit ahead of the FIFA World Cup qualifying rounds that are coming up, the double header that we're having there, the game against Lesotho and then the game against Benin Republic. So we need our people fit. And thankfully, the 3 players that are playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria that are on Fulham's cards, the ones we mentioned there, Calvin Bassey, Alex Iwobi, and Samuel Chukwueze came out unscathed, even though they lost the game 3-1 to Bournemouth. So now, talking about charity being at home, as usual, beginning at home, we go to the NPFL Match Week 7 fixtures that are kicking off beginning from today by 4 p.m. We're going to have 2 games today. Simultaneously, 4 p.m., we're going to have El Kanemi Warriors playing host to Kano Pillars. Now, that's going to be a northern derby, the northeast meeting the northwest. And then we're going to have Bendel Insurance playing host to Nassau United. So, Bini Gunners are going to be hosting the team that had the top gunner in the Premier League last season, referring to Anas Yusuf, who scored 18 goals in the NPFL. But on Sunday, we're going to have the bulk of the games being played on Sunday, where Aimba will be playing host to Rivers United. That will be an emotional return for the man himself, Finidi George, who won the Premier League title with Aimba when he was still on their roster, but now he's going there with Rivers United, his native Rivers United. And then we're going to have Shooting Stars 3SC of Ibadan playing host to Plateau United. Rangers International, the Flying Antelopes, will be playing host to Cathedral United. That will be a very big game indeed for the Flying Antelopes to get back to winning ways. And then we're also going to have Kwara United playing host to Abia Warriors, who also crashed out in the CAF Confederation Cup, like we mentioned earlier, to Djibouti of Mali. Then we are going to have Bayelsa United playing host to Ikorodu City. Oga boys are going to show that they are not just boys, but men playing. So we're going to watch and see how that pans out. Then Niger Tornadoes will be playing host to Kun Kalifat of Owerri. Then we're going to have Barao FC playing host to Warrior Wolves. So the battle of the promoted boys playing together to see who's going to come out victorious. And then we're going to have Remo Stars on Monday. Because of that replayed game, they needed a bit more time to rest. They do need a bit more time to rest. So Monday by 4 p.m., Remo Stars will be playing host to Wiki Tourists. Divine, these games are coming thick and fast, and it is good to know that it's still the early stages in the NPFL.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite all right. I always say it, I keep on saying it till I sound like a broken record, that the NPFL is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And every marathon requires stamina. You build up the stamina, you have to get the results that you need.
Yeah.
You have to get the points in the bag. You have to make sure you protect your home ground and then get as many points at home and then become an intimidating force when you travel away from home and then try to get as many results, because that could be the difference between staying in the league and being relegated, depending on your targets.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also maybe winning the league or finishing in continental places. So this is very important. These are games that have come out that we played this weekend. What's your take so far? Match week 7 is what we're about to start. Then we'll have 31 games to go. We've had some exciting fixtures, but are we ready for some drama this weekend? Are we likely to see drama, or are we going to be served with banal football that's not so exciting? We rarely have periods in the NPFL where we are not excited. We want to be entertained week in, week out.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Normally, when you talk about NPFL, of course, there's bound to be drama. Football in general, you can imagine watching a football game, a big football game, and you don't see drama. It's hard to come by. So, of course, there will be drama. We are going to be entertained. We are going to laugh. We'll smile then. So, other people who end up being sad, then some other people end up with mixed feelings, so to speak. But I'll just say this, there's bound to be drama. We are going to see some level of excitement and entertainment. Of course, it's football. That's what football is all about. It's part of the entertainment world.
Okay, that's fantastic indeed. So we will be entertained. We will. I don't know if you can take a risk and maybe be a millionaire or a billionaire and check some of those results. I'll just mention some key games.
Okay.
Now, this is no disrespect to any of the teams, but because of time, I have to single out a few matches that could be blockbusters.
Okay.
Potentially. We could be disappointed, I don't know. But Eimba Rivers United, your prediction. I had to put you on the spot because I know you're a soft spot for Eimba and Abian as well.
And I'm not surprised you had to mention that fixture first. Immediately you mentioned, I was like, this is where Oga CC will put me now. All right, these are actually two strong teams who did well last season and did well-ish last season, and then they are here again this season. So for me, my predictions, I'll leave it on as a... Please, no one should come for me, please. This is just my prediction, please. So I beg. Now, prediction how they do. Make una no vex. Okay, so I'll give it a 2-1 win for Enyimba.
Okay, so home advantage will count.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. And then secondly, very important, I'm from Abia State, so I got to support my brothers. You know what I'm saying? So Abia, no, for my hand. No, for my hand.
They are traveling to Kwara United.
No problem. But at least let's talk about this rivalry. The one on ground first. Okay. Yes. So Enyimba to get a 2-1 win over Rivers United. Number 1, home advantage. Number 2, I'm from Abia State. And then number 3, Enyimba has actually been, impressive so far this season. So I'll actually lay it out to them to give it to them. I'm saying this based on not just hope, but also an expectation.
Okay, well spoken. So coming home here, Enugu Rangers International up against Cathedral United. Your prediction?
Why now?
Why not now? That's what you're paid for. That's your job.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not. I'll go otherwise. I talked about Enyimba zone based on expectation. Now I'm going otherwise on the Rangers issue here. Rangers versus who again?
Cathedral
United. Okay. I'm just going to say this on hope. I just hope Rangers get a 2-0 win over Cathedral United. But to be sincere, Rangers has not actually been impressive this season. Let's just call a spade a spade. It's sad to say, but it has to be said. Rangers have not been so wonderful this season. But
on the contrary, Rangers have not dropped. They've dropped 2 points at home, and they've not conceded any goal at home. And that was the first game of the season where they dropped points to Califat. Okay. They've won all their home games.
All our home games, which is how many home games so far?
Still all. Once it's more than one, is all. They whine me.
No problem. If that's the way you put it. Okay, what was Rangers' position on table?
Give me prediction, my friend.
You see? All right, now. So, anyway, Rangers 2-0 win over Cathedral United. I just hope it happens. Rangers, please, get these 3 points. Fidelis Ilechukwu, please, be up and doing. Let's fire on all cylinders and get our 3 points. It's very, very important, please.
Okay.
We never say die.
Kwara United against Abia Warriors. You can see that there's a bit of a bias in the southeastern zone. So I want to tackle our southeastern brothers first.
Okay.
So Kwara United against Abia Warriors, another club that's dear to your heart for obvious reasons.
And then I'm guessing Abia Warriors are away from home. Yes. Okay, I see a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Okay, no victor, no vanquished.
Yeah, they'll share the spoils on this one.
All right, then Niger Tornadoes against Kun Califat. No, they are from Owerri.
Okay, I'm giving it to Niger Tornadoes since they have more experience in the NPFL, unlike Kun Califat that came from the NNL. So I'll give this one to Niger Tornadoes. And Niger Tornadoes is actually at home, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm giving this to Niger Tornadoes because of the experience in the MPFL, their longevity, their consistency, though they have not carried any league, but I assume that based on them being at home, that they will actually get their 3 points, and more so they are the top dogs and they are the favorites to win of the two.
Okay, so let's look at the promotion 6-pointer. Barao FC against Wiki Tourists.
Against Wiki Tourists. Okay, I'm giving this to Wiki Tourists. A 2-1 win.
Oh, sorry. Scratch that. My.
Okay, you're bad.
As Barao FC against Warri Wolves.
Against Warri Wolves.
Warri Wolves. That's why it's a relegation 6-pointer. So Warri Wolves are traveling to Barra FC.
Okay.
Actually, they are going to the Sani Abacha Stadium, which is the stadium of the Kano Pillars that they borrowed from them. Yes, same as Sugida. Because the Dambata Stadium is under renovation. So they are going to be playing their games, their home games at
Sani Abacha Stadium. Okay.
So they will be playing host to Warrior Wolves. Your prediction?
Okay, I'm giving this a surprising win to Warrior Wolves. A 1-0 win, a lone goal, a win by a lone goal.
Okay. And then the final one, Remo Stars, the defending champions against Wiki Tourists, who just got promoted.
Oh, against Wiki Tourists. Okay. I'm just giving it to Remo Stars. They are the defending champions. They've been, if not the most consistent, they are one of the most consistent teams right now in NPFL. Okay. Coming either second or third, season in, season out for the past 5 seasons. So their consistency level, I am giving it to them. So, Remo Stars to win Wiki Tourist by 3-1.
Okay, fine. So that's the prediction of the divinator. Let's see how good his divining tools are and see whether he's going to come up with, with glory or shame at the end of the day. All the same, now we are still on the home front, and we're going to the Super Eagles camp because, as it is, there will be a camp, and it's confirmed who is meant to be in that camp. Eric Sekuchel, the Malian, who is the gaffer, the Super Eagles manager, has selected a squad that's going to be involved in the fixtures, the remaining fixtures in the World Cup qualifiers. We have 2 games to go, which are very vital games given the circumstances that came about with South Africa being deducted, points being deducted, Safa being punished, Tebo Mokoena being warned and everything. But Nigeria, in order to benefit from this, have to win their remaining games. Super Eagles must do that. So Eric Sekuchel has selected a squad that will face Lesotho on the 10th of October and Benin Republic on the 14th of October, the last game. So you look at the penultimate game and the last game. So the squad is available right now that he has selected. The goalkeepers, in the goalkeeping department, you have Stanley Nwabali and Amas Obasoje, and then of course Adeboye Adeleye. These are the players that are there in the goalkeeping department. Then we have the defenders, William Trustekong, the captain, Calvin Bassey that we talked about not too long ago, then Semi Ajayi, and then Bright Osai Samuel, Bruno Nyemechi, and Felix Agu, and Benjamin Frederick. Of course, Olaino is missing. He's very conspicuously absent from that list because of the injury he picked up during the last World Cup qualifying game against South Africa in Bloemfontein. Then the midfielders, you have Alex Iwobi. We mentioned him. He was also on the losing side to Bournemouth, but he came out unscathed. Thanks be to God for that. And then Frank Onyeka is on that list too, with Wilfred Ndidi and Al Hassan Yusuf. These are the midfielders that Eric Sekuchel has decided to pack. And then the forwards, we have a lot of forwards that are there because this is a double header that requires goals. And we have the reigning African Player of the Year who plays for Atalanta in Italy, Ademola Lookman, and Samuel Chukwueze, who was also on the losing side to Bournemouth for Fulham. Then Victor Osimhen, thank goodness he's involved in the squad. He overcame an injury scare after that win over Liverpool for Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League match day 2. And then Moses Simon is back in the fray there alongside Cyril Desais, who has been having a wonderful time in his club. Then Tolu Arokodare, who is settling in well in Wolverhampton Wanderers in England. And we have Terence Murphy, who is also involved. And Akko Adams and Olusegun are involved. Olusegun are involved in this. So this is the squad that Eric Sekuchel has deemed worthy of wearing the green, white, green to play against Lesotho away from home and Benin Republic in the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, 4 days later.
Okay.
How are there any notable absentees? And how would you rate this squad? Are they hungry enough? Are they equipped enough to do Mission Impossible for us? Because Mission Impossible is getting to the World Cup and hoping that other things fall into place for Nigeria. We still have a job to do, and that is to win the 2 games.
Okay. I'll say this: since South Africa has been punished, they've been penalized for for illegally fielding a legitimate player. So now the ball is in our court. This is, how do I say it? This is how do I put it? These games is for us to lose. Like, if we should lose this game, this is our fault. Good enough, we've played South Africa, the only threat that I see in our group. Lesotho shouldn't be an issue for us. Who again? Is it
Benin Republic?
Benin Republic. We shouldn't have problems beating these two teams. So we need to get all maximum points from the remaining games. So we need to buckle up and we need to look sharp and lock in. We have to stay locked in as possible. Now, I actually looked at the list of our players. I saw just 4 midfielders. What I'm hoping for is that none of them should, be injured, because it's going to take a very serious toll on the team, because the midfield is like the engine room of the team. The link between defense and attack lies in that midfield. So I just hope that those 4 players are able to be up and doing, that there won't be any injury. Let the game be an injury. The remaining games, let them be injury free. Because I don't know what will happen if one of them should get injured. I'm talking about the likes of Alex Iwobi and the rest. So, let's just rally up and wish the Nigeria Super Eagles a successful qualification game. We need to get to this World Cup, and we need to show Africa and the world at large that we are Nigerians and we know how to do what we do.
Okay, so well spoken, but there's something I want to point out before we... there's something I just want to verify, because there's a name that's conspicuously absent that I would have loved to be in this, and I want to be sure that he was removed.
Is it Victor Boniface?
No, not Victor Boniface.
Okay.
Victor Boniface, he needs to get his mojo back, and I think it's understandable. I totally support Eric Sekuchel's excluding him from the school.
Okay.
I totally understand that, and it should be the case. But there's one person I don't really fully understand. I don't know why he's not in the squad, but I'm referring to Fisara Dele Bashiru. No, Fisara Dele Bashiru, he is not in the squad. I need to be sure that he's not injured, because he was not selected. Okay. But we'll still talk more about this. The game is going to be 6 days from now. 6 days from now, that's the first game. So it will be good to have a prediction, but we'll talk about that. Let's go on a very, very short break. We'll be right back after these messages, because there's some 1 or 2 things we need to tidy up. Very important. We will be back. This is a matter we've not ended yet. Stay tuned. We have phone calls that are going to be coming in right now. So I'm going to give the phone number, the phone lines, so that as we're coming back from this simulcast, you can make your calls. The 09116 993 993. I'll take that one more time. 09116 993 993. Those are the phone lines to reach us on the Afia Home of Sports, on the simulcast, simultaneous broadcast. Yeah, wonderful indeed. Simultaneous broadcast. Yeah. So please, you can actually make your calls, call in, and then be part of the show. We'll be right back after these messages. You're welcome back to the Afia Home of Sports on Afia TV and Afia Radio, because we're running a simulcast as usual. Channel 254 DSTV, channel 748 Free TV, channel 17 Go TV, and you can call us on 09116 993 993. I'll take that one more time. 09116 993 993. That's the phone line you can use to reach us. Let's make this interactive. Let's talk about that. And it's been wonderful, because the first segment of this show, we were talking and discussing sports, discussing the home front with Divine, the divinator himself, and I thank him very much for his contribution. But there's a tag team going on here, because he stepped down, and we have back to the seat Zikora Ngene himself, the blessed Zik. Zik, good to see you.
Yeah, great to also be here. A pleasure to do this once again with you. Very, very interesting first segment. Let's continue.
Cool. We'll continue. Definitely, we'll continue. Just before we went on a short break, we were talking about the World Cup, list that Eric Sekuchel has brought out, and then we were almost looking at the issue of absentees, but time will not permit us. Just one, you clarified something, because I was trying to locate that, and Fisara Dele Bashiru is not included because he's injured, so he's not fit enough to be part of that team. That's a very, very notable absentee. But this is for a World Cup that the senior team is preparing for. But we need to look at the World Cup that nobody's preparing for, that they're already involved in, referring to the Under-20, FIFA Under-20 World Cup that's going on in Chile. Nigeria unfortunately lost the first game in Group F to Norway 1-0, a penalty scored in the 9th minute, and they were on the brink of having a very, very tough time getting out of that group. But there was respite because the Eagles, that is the Flying Eagles of Nigeria Under-20, ended up beating a very tough and determined Saudi Arabia side by 3-2. A late goal was scored. The third goal, scored by the captain himself, made it 3-2 deep into stoppage time, and that gave Nigeria hope, because currently the Nigeria Flying Eagles of Nigeria are third on the log with the two sides ahead of them, that is Norway and Colombia, tied on 4 points. So Nigeria have 3 points, Colombia have 4 points, likewise Norway 4 points, and then Saudi Arabia are yet to get a point on the board. So by Monday, this coming Monday by 12 p.m., Nigeria are going to be facing Colombia in their last game. What that means is very simple. The destiny of the Under-20 side, the Flying Eagles, are in their hands. Their destiny is in their hands. All that needs to be done, irrespective of the results, get a win over Colombia. Simple. Win Colombia, qualify to the next round. It's as simple as that. So this is a tough one. We wish them all the best. We know that they're going to do the needful and then make us proud. And talking about pride, we are going straight, because of time, to Europe. And where better to begin in Europe than to talk about England, the English Premier League, the EPL round of 7. It kicked off yesterday and it's continuing from today. Yesterday, we talked about that extensively, how Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth, under the tutelage of Anthony Raola, welcomed Marco Silva's side, Fulham, to the Vitality Stadium. And then it was a very, very tough game indeed. Lovely football being played there. Our very own Samuel Chukwueze got involved and gave the assist for Ryan Sessegnon to score, but that was touching the tiger by the tail, because Bournemouth came from behind and wiped them. A beautiful goal, the 2 goals scored by Antoine Semenyo. His first goal was an absolute beauty from a very tight corner, and then Justin Kluivert, one of the 3 Kluivert brothers that scored this past week, that were just exiting. And then, of course, he wrapped up the scoring there. So that was a 3-1 win for Bournemouth. Bournemouth grabbed a 3-1 win. I'm sure Patrick will be very proud right now. The father, their dad, Patrick Kluivert, is very, very proud that his sons are emulating his prowess during his playing days. But we have other games. The early kickoff today will be at Elland Road, where Leeds United will be playing host to Tottenham Hotspur. And then 5 p.m. fixtures, you have Manchester United playing host to Sunderland FC in Old Trafford, and then North London will be the location for the London derby that will be taking place between Arsenal Football Club and West Ham United at the Emirates. That's a game that will have the services of Nuno Espirito Santos, who has replaced the beleaguered and embattled manager, now former manager of West Ham United, Graham Potter. He became Harry Potter and disappeared from the coaching scene because of poor results.
Great spawn.
Yeah, so the late kickoff for today will be Chelsea playing host to Liverpool. That's the biggest game of the weekend. Chelsea against Liverpool. Will Chelsea give Liverpool more headaches? Because Liverpool have lost back-to-back games in all competitions after losing to Crystal Palace, who are now the only unbeaten side in the EPL, 2-1 at Selhurst Park, and then losing to Galatasaray in Istanbul 1-0 thanks to a goal scored from the penalty spot by Victor Osimhen. Then we're going to have games. That game will be by 5:30 p.m. Then the games that will be played tomorrow will be Sunday. Newcastle United will play host to Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa will play host to Burnley. Wolverhampton Wanderers will play host to Brighton and Hove Albion. Everton Football Club will play host to Crystal Palace, the only unbeaten side in the EPL, referring to Crystal Palace, of course, not Everton. And then Brentford, the late game, that will be by 4:30 p.m. I beg your pardon, where Brentford will welcome Manchester City to the G-Tech Community Stadium, the second consecutive time they're welcoming a Manchester club. Will they be second time good? I don't know about that. But, coming to you now, Zik, these are very, very interesting fixtures. We know that the standout fixture has to be the Chelsea-Liverpool game. And Chelsea, they've developed a knack of picking red cards. It's like they're enjoying the red cards. First Sanchez grabbing the red card in that home loss to, that's the goalkeeper Sanchez, in that home loss to Brighton and Hove Albion. They lost 3-1 to them, Danny Welbeck scoring a brace. And then the one that happened before then, I think it was before then, against Manchester United. They picked up a red card. That was it before then? No, recently. They picked up a red card
against Manchester United.
Man United was Chalobah.
And
Chalobah
also against the team that they played in the Champions League, Benfica.
Yes, that was against. So that's Chelsea, not Man United.
Okay, Man United.
When you mentioned Champions League,
you know where we are talking about Chelsea and Liverpool, the big game that is going to happen today. That's what. Okay.
Let's be clear. So
no, the only team that is having issues with discipline right now is Chelsea, and we're talking about the big game today, which is Chelsea versus Liverpool. But both teams are coming with indifferent forms. Liverpool consecutive defeats. Chelsea have been having a bit of a wobble right now. The fans seem to have turned on Enzo Maresca all of a sudden, but it's not as toxic as Nottingham Forest and Ange Postecoglou, who are suddenly been given an ultimatum yesterday by the hierarchy that in as much as he still retains internal support, he still has to win football games and the performances have to be up to standard. And of course for him it's a tricky situation. He knew it in his unveiling that it's going to be a very, very tight situation for him, because the fans of yours are in love with Nuno Espirito Santo, with the way he galvanized them and took them to Europe. And now they are playing the Europa League this season. But of course, the last win of this same Europa League is the same coach that they have right now. So football is quite tricky. He's just 24 days in the job, and of course he's now under fire again. But that's the nature of the beast that is modern football. You said something about Harry Potter vanishing from the scene. It's been abysmal for him at West Ham right now for Graham Potter. But it's not been only him. Also, Julian Lopetegui. He was there. It didn't work out for him. It doesn't mean that they are bad coaches, because Graham Potter has a very good understanding of football. He has also coached Brighton, Chelsea. Yeah, it didn't happen for him at Chelsea. So also West Ham is a funny beast. That game is going to be interesting for us now, because they have to fight for the title. They need to back up the wins that they got both in the Champions League and against Newcastle during the last weekend. So a very tasty affairs. Also Everton versus Crystal Palace. You said the last unbeaten side. Everton have not lost at their home. Yeah, they have drawn 2. They have won 1. But very, very nice matchups. I can't wait for I want to see how Manchester United actually act. Their fans are suffering right now. It's from one misery to another. Amorim as well. I think today is also a must win. Let's say a must not lose, because I think if he loses it, hell, we don't know what's going to happen.
Something is definitely going to happen, but we just can't say. There's no doubt about that. I mean, losing at home to Sunderland, the Black Cats.
But you can't say Sunderland is they came up from the championship, but with the way they have recruited and the way they have started the season, they have 11 points. They are in the top of the top table. So
currently they are 6th, and even their manager Lebris is one of the nominees for Manager of the Month,
which I think he deserves. But for me, United is a very, very dicey game. For Amorim, it's just from 1 week. It seems like 1 step forward, 2 steps backward. So, but we also have to commend Bournemouth. What Anthony Raiola has been doing there for quite a while now has been very, very good. They have a style of play, pressing people very, very hard and high. I think Semenyo, his time at Bournemouth is coming to an end. I don't want to be like a prophet of doom for Bournemouth fans, but this guy is destined for great things. The ability he has, pace, power, left, right foot, heading, power, like he's the complete player. And I don't have to say that he isn't, because he's Ghanaian, we are Nigerians and we have that beef. But if you see the truth, you have to say the truth. True. He's a very, very good player. Clivert, the family, the father must be great, very, very proud. The great Patrick. So this weekend is going to be very interesting. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to it. So I think we're coming to the point of predictions, key predictions now. We've already had a game that doesn't need a prediction. It happened yesterday, Bournemouth beating Fulham, and that's what helped push Andoni Iraola and his boys to second on the log. They're currently second, but they've played a game more than every other team besides Fulham that they defeated. Also, very quick, just predictions. Leeds United, Tottenham Hotspur.
I'm not a predicting man. I've told you that.
I don't. You can try.
I'm not on the spot. I don't want to predict anything, because for me, I don't see anything between these two teams. The game I want to see how, like I said, Manchester United happen to perform, because for me, that performance is going to be very crucial. I don't know what's going to happen in the game. So I can't predict for you. Football is very, very dicey. All of a sudden it happens like this. So for me, I just want to be, I want to be like a fan. I am not a predictor. Anybody that wants to predict should go and ask ChatGPT, please.
One way or the other, you're still going to fall into that trap of prediction. I don't know. It's not a matter of if or when. Okay, so the EPL, it's going to be a fantastic one indeed. But for some reason, I want to move to the Italian Serie A. Now, in the Italian Serie A, there's one major game that all eyes are going to be on. We're going to have a number of fixtures there in round of 6 of Italian Serie A. Of course, Hellas Verona lost at home to Sassuolo. Then Lazio, that's Fisare Dele Bashiru's side, are going to be playing today by 2 p.m. They are going to be playing host to Torino. Parma will be playing host to Lecce. Then Internazionale by 5 p.m. will be playing host to Cremonese. And Atalanta, Ademola Lookman's Atalanta, will be playing host to Como, that's still being managed by Cesc Fabregas. And then Udinese will be playing host. This is Sunday. These are Sunday games. Udinese will be playing host to Cagliari. And Fiorentina, the Viola, will be playing host to Roma, AS Roma. And Bologna will be playing host to Pisa. While Napoli, by 5 p.m. on Sunday, will be playing host to Genoa. The defending champions, Napoli, under Antonio Conte, will be playing host to Genoa. This man, Rasmus Højlund, having the time of his life. KDB, that's Kevin De Bruyne, reminding everybody of his quality. But the main game that we're going to keep our eyes on for a number of reasons is in Turin, in the Allianz Stadium, where the old lady, that is Juventus, will be playing host to the Rossoneri, that is AC Milan. Now, AC Milan are currently top on the log, having 12 points from their 5 games, while Juventus are 4th, have just a point behind, but the dynamics of goal difference and everything keeps them out of the touch of Milan. Now, this is a side that has a manager that was very successful for Juventus, that parted ways with them in recent seasons, talking about Massimiliano Allegri. Allegri is now in the dugout for the Rossoneri.
He was also successful at Milan before.
Yes, I know, but I mean, he's come back. I'm talking about his more recent.
No, I understand. For the viewers to remember that he was also. Good it was Milan.
Yes, that launched him to Juve. Yes, yeah. But he made a name for the current crop of fan base in Juventus. That his success in Juventus was more recognized in recent years. So I'm trying to resonate with our Gen Z audience and those who don't know about his history in Milan. So he's come back to Milan right now, and he's going to, apart from the other dynamics of this game, the other quality of players that we have there, Yildiz, who has been a man on fire for Juventus. We still have Cambiaso, who is playing there. We have people like Cup Miners, who is there. McKennie playing a fantastic game, to Vlahovic, who was more or less in the transfer limbo. But Milan, one of their biggest signings is the man that this month is going to turn 40, referring to Luka Modric, the Real Madrid legend, the Croatian legend. He's going to be there. We know about Pulisic, Rafael Leao, all of them that are playing their game there. Yusuf Fofana.
I think Leao is just coming back from injury. But right now, the team that Allegri has assembled, they are doing well. They are performing. I won't say it's beyond belief, because there is a lot of quality in that Milan squad. But with the way their season ended last season, from Paulo Fonseca to Sergio Conceição, and now bringing back somebody like Allegri. Allegri has always been a winner. Yes. He's somebody that knows how to win. With the first Milan side that won the title with Thiago Silva and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, people like Nolito. No, not Cherino, not Nolito, sorry. They played very, very good football, and now he's back again, I think, after a decade plus. So for me, the way they are playing, 4 wins out of 5, you remember they started the season with a defeat.
Yes.
And the fans were out for blood. It seemed like what's going to happen again? Is this thing going to work again, second time? But he has steadied the ship. I think now the confidence is there. And Modric, you are talking, 40 years young, playing like the quarterback style for AC Milan that they haven't had since Andrea Pirlo, that donned the famous Rossoneri jersey
and the Bianconeri jersey too.
Yeah, and the Bianconeri jersey. But the way he has been playing, he has been like the metronome for the way the team has been playing. And Allegri has been very wise. He just put him at the base of the midfield and put workhorses, around him. People like Fofana, Rabiot, they are doing the donkey walk in the midfield, and they just allow Modric to just go on gliding, dictating the tempo.
Craft aligning with graft.
Yeah, so those guys are doing the work in the midfield, and also someone like Pulisic has taken up the mantle of being the talisman. I think he's been very, very fantastic. Scoring goals, giving assists. So they're not even missing Rafael Leao. So it tells you a lot about the team. So fantastic for Allegri. Juventus, by the way, have been drawing too many games. Champions League, Serie A. I hope that this game, I think it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, though.
Okay, so I think that's that. We wish them all the best. And as we come to the end of the show, just a reminder, something is happening this year before this year runs out, and it is in this city of Enugu. My Enugu story indeed. This is all about the homecoming. My Enugu story. It's my Enugu story 2025 is already here, and we're thankful to God because the theme for this year's My Enugu story is a letter to my hood and my motherland. So what we're expecting from you is for you to get a story about the neighborhood that raised you. And this is your chance to tell that story through writing, photography, videography, or creative arts. Now, this is open to everyone who grew up in the Southeast, Imo State, Abia State, Anambra State, Ebonyi State, Enugu State, whether you're in Nigeria or in diaspora. Now, there are prizes per category. The winner takes home 500,000 naira, that's 500,000 naira. Then the first runner-up takes home 300,000 naira. The second runner-up takes home 100,000 naira. And then the most engaged post on our social media platforms will be also 100,000 naira. So the competition runs from September the 15th to November the 1st. So we have less than a month for the window to close. So for you to participate, you upload your entry at afiahomecoming.com/myenugustory and then share on your socials and tag at Afia TV Official and at Afia Homecoming. So this is an invitation for us to celebrate creativity and pay homage to the hood that made us, and that's exactly what we're here for. My Enugu story, we celebrate. And speaking of celebration, as we bring this show to an end, I want to celebrate my only sister, biological sister, Barrister Mrs. Obianuju Amanambu. She is, I won't tell you her age so that you won't guess my own age. But happy birthday to you. We celebrate you. We love you so much. We know how much you have been a second mother after our mother's passing. So really, we thank you for being who you are, for what you do. And in the same vein, we thank everybody out there, everybody who's been part of this success story that has been the Afia Home of Sports, the floor managers, the producers, the MCR, PCR, everybody, all our guests, Divine Onka, who was here, of course, the Blessed Zik, thank you very much for being here. And everybody who's joined hands together to make this work. We wouldn't have done this without you. Thank you. We're going to do this again. On Monday, we'll be here for the Afia Sports Review Square. But till then, remain blessed. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Sisi the Rabbi. We're signing out.